Hi everyone, this is Chef Zoe and today I am offering another one of my new installments, Chef Zoe's Raw Food Basics. Today actually I'm in one of my clients' home. Her name is Linda Sollers. She's one of the very few women pilots that is flying in our skies, so I am thrilled to know her as a friend and also be one of her, mentors on raw foods. And I'm showing her today how to make one of the most delicious desserts that I have discovered in the raw world, which is my magnificent avocado chocolate mousse. So while I'm showing her how to make this, we decided to make a video and just kind of show everyone, because this is one of the simplest recipes you can make at home, one of the easiest, and one of the tastiest. You literally can make this from scratch in like less than 10 minutes and just take it to potlucks, to events, show off at your party next time. It's so versatile and you'll see why. The ingredients that you will need for this recipe are 4 ripe avocados. The Haas kind is the best one, so just make sure they're nice and ripe, because if they're not, the texture of the mousse is going to be very off. You also will need about 1/3 of a cup of raw cacao powder. And raw cacao powder is different than cocoa powder because, for one thing, it's not roasted and it's not processed with alkali, so it retains all of its naturally occurring antioxidants, flavonoids, serotonin, which is the feel-good hormone that this stimulates. It's really a great powder to add to your diet. You also will need some sweetener. The one that I'm using here is agave nectar. Linda has the dark kind, which is the dark amber color. You will find it in the stores, but the one that I prefer and recommend is the clear agave nectar, which is what I carry. The reason is that when it's clear, it's less processed, and usually it is much more raw, meaning like it's not heated above 115 degrees. So I would recommend that you look for the clear one, but this one will do well today, so we'll just use this one. Also, you will need a little bit of balsamic vinegar, and I know you're asking, like, why would I be using a vinegar for making a dessert? But actually, balsamic vinegar is very versatile in dessert recipes, and a lot of gourmet chefs use it to increase or enhance the flavor of their dessert. And we use just a tiny bit, so you're not going to be even able to tell the difference. Also, you will need some vanilla extract. You will need a little bit of raw coconut oil, and this one is ready to go. It's melted already, so that's good. You want it to be melted. You don't want it to use it when it's hard and solidified. And also we'll need a little bit of Himalayan pink salt just to enhance the flavor at the end. So now I'm going to start making this mousse so you can see how easy and simple it is to make. We are using a Vitamix. If you don't have a Vitamix, you can use traditional blender, or you can use also a food processor. Food processors actually work very well for this particular dessert. Okay, so I'm going to cut the avocado in half and just kind of twist it a little bit, and then remove the pit. And then the best way to scoop it out is to use a small spoon and just kind of like remove it right out like this. That's probably the best way to take it out. So you want to do this with all of the other pieces. Alright, our avocados are in already, so now what we want to add is the rest of the ingredients except for our cacao powder. You want to add the cacao powder last because you want to make sure everything is already blended and it's emulsified before you add it. So that's why we'll just save it for last. For the vanilla extract, you need about 2 teaspoons or a larger tablespoon. Okay, you need about 2 tablespoons of coconut oil, and again, make sure it's already melted. The best way to melt it, just put it under hot running water, or if you have a hot piece of a heater or something at home, you just put it on top of it and it's going to melt it right up. So this is about 2 tablespoons of coconut oil. Now we're going to add about 1 teaspoon of balsamic vinegar. You want just a little bit, not much. Again, this just enhances the flavor. You're not going to taste it at the final product, I assure you, so don't worry about that. Okay. And I always add a little bit of Himalayan pink salt to all of my dishes. The reason I do that is that Himalayan pink salt, for one thing, is one of the purest in the world and one of the most nutritious. It has about 85 trace minerals, which are usually found in our soil, but nowadays with all of this chemicals in our environment and all the pollution, it's very difficult to get those trace minerals. So one of the best ways to do it is just add a little bit of that salt to all of your dishes and meals. And don't worry, it's actually low sodium comparing to like the table salt that most people consume out there. So all I'm adding here is just like not even a teaspoon, just like 1 or 2 pinches of salt. That's about it. And again, this enhances the flavor, it does not alter it in any way. Alright, so this is the most important part now, breaking all this down into a smooth mass. And one of the great things about using your Vitamix is that on the top it has one of these covers that you can remove, and you have to use your temper. This is the temper, which pushes the food towards the blade, so it makes it easier for you to emulsify harder things or things that don't have much moisture or liquid in them. So we're going to use this to emulsify all of this first. Well, actually, I forgot one ingredient. As I'm talking, sometimes I forget things, so please forgive me. We forgot to add our sweetener. So let's pour this in. Alright, that's about half a cup of agave nectar. And you're free to use also coconut nectar, which is one of the newest sweeteners out there. Or you can use, well, what else you can use? I would not suggest any sugars. I think agave nectar or coconut nectar probably would be the best ones for this mousse to have the smoothest texture. Alright, that's it. I promise you there's nothing else that we forgot to mention or add, and now we're going to blend this up. So we have done the initial blending of the powder, and you can see what it looks like. I mean, it still needs to be blended a little more, and just because it's very thick mousse, you don't use any liquid, it's good to add a little bit of water to assist the blending. So there's not exact amount that you should add. I would just say maybe like 1/4 of a cup, start there, and then if you need a little more, you can just add a little bit more. But what it helps this is like, it helps move the mousse a little better, so it's easier to blend it and emulsify everything. So I'll just continue for another minute or so just to incorporate this water into the mix. Perfect. Here's what the ready mousse should look like. I mean, it's pretty much one uniform color. I'm gonna pause again and I'm gonna taste it. I always taste things just to make sure, you know, it's exactly how I like it. And surely it is. It's excellent. As a matter of fact, I like a little bit more cacao powder. And by a little more, I'm just saying a little more to tone down the avocado taste. Because sometimes if you don't put enough of cacao powder, you might be able to taste the avocado. So I would just recommend add maybe like 1-2 tablespoons more if you find yourself that you're tasting too much of the avocado, and then should take care of it. Alright. And we're just going to continue blending again for a few more seconds. Our mousse is finished. It's ready. It takes a little bit of time to find your perfect taste, what you like, so that's why I say play with it. Add a little bit more cacao powder if you like, or a little more water until you get the right consistency. So this one now has the right consistency. It's super delicious. I can't wait for my client to taste it. Actually, she's sitting right across from me here. And you guys, you have to try this. It's incredible. I mean, it's just like a chocolate pudding. That's the texture you're gonna get. So maybe if you can see it here as I'm pulling it out of the container. It's very, very creamy, You just got here amazing raw dessert. And it didn't require any dairy, any eggs, any cream, any heating or boiling or baking. I mean, it's that simple to make. What I like to do now, after, you know, I scoop all of this great mixture out, I like to add some fresh fruit with this, because it's such a rich mousse that sometimes it might be a little too strong for your taste, or you might just find it a little too chocolatey. That's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's great to pair it with the fruit, especially when you have like fresh fruit in season. We have some bananas, we have some apples, which are organic, and we also have some strawberries. So I'm gonna cut up some of this and I'm gonna display it nice in this dish. So you're gonna come back in just a moment and you're gonna see what it could look like when it's final. So I have the finished product here and it's all nicely decorated in this little bowl. What I just did, I used some fresh bananas, apples, and strawberries. I put the bananas on the bottom, then I layered a little bit of the mousse, and I used the apple wedges as, you know, little scoopers on the side, and then I just put some banana and strawberry in the middle. You can even use other fruits. I mean, kiwi would look great in here. Also tangerines or oranges would be great. Or you can eat it as it is. And that's it, guys. This is how you make the magnificent avocado chocolate mousse. Super easy, super delicious, and the ingredients are very easy to find locally, and it has no processed sugar, no dairy, no eggs, no gluten, no soy. Virtually, I mean, one of the healthiest desserts like this dessert. So thank you for watching my channel and subscribing to it, and stay tuned for more videos of Chef Zoe's Raw Food Basics. Thank you.